I am so excited. I have been waiting for this to come in. I'm also a little embarrassed because I said I was done for 2025, but please come along with me as I unbox my brand new Laurel Denise planner. All right, so this came a few days ago. I have been dying to open it. I am so excited. So I don't know if you, I was gonna say if you're like me, I'm sure everybody is like this on the internet. You just get advertised to. And you know, I don't really get a lot of planner advertisements, but if I click on one, all of a sudden, you know, it's the way the internet works. Anyway, so I have seen this advertised to me for a really long time and it was always intriguing, but I'm like, I don't know. But I have noticed that there has been one issue that I have had with my current planner, and I love my planner because it's so beautiful. I designed it. You probably saw me make the plum planner. The cover is exactly perfect. The size is perfect. The paper quality could not be more perfect. But my issue is I sometimes carry tasks like from week to the next week to the next week, and I get tired of like writing it back and forth, or like I just shared a video of different lists. So for example, holiday lists, birthday lists, house project ideas. It's not like that where I can put stuff on those. It's just a task that's taking me longer to do. Stuff I should get done this week, but I just don't. So I like this because you have this layout. Well, I guess you do. I'm about to see it. The clips I've seen have all been kind of chopped up, so I don't really know what this looks like, but it looks like when you open it, you can see your week and your month and several things all at once. So I am very excited to take a look. All right, so it came in like about a week. And what do we have? Little packet. Planners for the way you think. I know, see that is the thing right there. Planners for the way you think. I feel like that is my struggle, is just carrying over tasks. Like I said, I wish I were being more productive right now. Actually, I've been extremely productive, just not with the things I actually want to get done. It's the things that I have to. I think we all go through seasons like that. So anyway, all right, well, you knew that I was going to get a floral planner. It comes very nicely boxed. I would say if you're going to give this as a gift, this is like really nice to wrap. It's beautiful. You got a little floral on the outside, and I got the floral. It is wrapped in bubble wrap. That is so nice. Okay, oh, and it just slides out. Okay, now as you are all aware, I like a medium planner. This is usually the size planner I like. Now this is a little bit longer, but normally planners are more like 8.5 by 11 and they're more vertical, but this is a horizontal, but I absolutely love it. So let us take a little look. All right, so we open it, look at that. This is my number one thing. I'm like, we have to have a little folder, and look, there's a little folder right here, which I love. I love having a folder. You never know what miscellaneous items you're gonna need to put in your planner, and to have that, and it's nice. It's not papery, it's more of a plastic, so it feels really sturdy there, which I love. Now, you may remember in another video, I was like, why am I a planner person and I don't own a ruler? And look at this. There are two little, it looks like this is a ruler, like an actual ruler, an 8-inch ruler. Oh, and look, it pops in and out, which I love that. Okay, and then this almost looks like a little bookmark. Yep, it is. You are also here. So that's helpful in case you need a bookmark as you're trying to keep track of where you are and you're skipping around a little bit. Okay, so we have the cover page right here. And one thing that I've noticed, let me turn this so you can see, is that look, isn't that interesting? It's like thick here, and then it like kind of gets a little bit thinner here, right? And I guess we'll see what that all looks like. But we have the contact and the information. You know, you put your name on the first page. And then there are some instructions here. I always like a little planner with instructions. So I've actually read, I followed her explanation. I forget if it was on Instagram or YouTube, but it was just about ways to get started. And I really like that she suggests the sticky note method. And it's just like putting all of your things on different sticky notes, and you can get as detailed or not detailed as you like. And then you move the sticky notes around on your planner until it feels like it's found a good place. It's realistic. It works for your brain. So I may try that. Also, I love this. Step 3, grab your favorite pen. May I suggest an erasable pen? I'm obsessed with erasable pens right now. I can't believe in all the years I've loved planners, I have never figured out that I loved erasable pens until now, and only by chance because I was gifted them by a friend. I just like that. And I like that you can maybe like move some sticky notes around, use your erasable pens, because sometimes with a new planner, you don't exactly know how you want to lay it out, right? And then I love this little note here. Remember, there is no perfect in planning, right? Like sometimes everything you see has beautiful handwriting, it's curated, it's lovely, it's matching, stickers, pens, color. Planners just, I don't know, sometimes they are just functional and they're not pretty, and that's okay. All right, so we just got to this page. These are the 2025 holidays. So all of the holidays are listed here. And what I like here is you get an overview of every single month, January to December. You get the layout, and below it, you have goals and things to remember. And then on this side, you have a column for special dates and events. Now, what I really like about this is that you have goals and things to remember, but it doesn't have to be used that way. It could be goals and the top 3 most exciting fun things you did that month, but you have space to keep track, and there's plenty of room there. So I really, really like that. Okay, moving on. Oh, okay, so now we're in January, and I like that. I like that there's not a bunch of stuff up front, because sometimes there's so much up front and you're like, I don't need this much space in the front, maybe some extra note pages in the back, but I don't need a ton up front. Like, I don't need a ton of goal setting pages or anything like that. So this is really nice, and you've got that column here for any other notes you want to make for the year. Now, these tabs are really nice. I love a laminated tab because, you know, sometimes taking your planner with you, you need that. Another thing I want to touch on is that these quills are really nice. It doesn't look, I guess they go, maybe they connect in the back here. That's like, yeah, that's where the edge is. They seem really sturdy and not like they would like bend. They seem really thick, so I really like that. So when you order online, you have the choice between a Sunday start date and a Monday start date. On one hand, I kind of wanted a Sunday monthly start date and then a Monday to do, but I guess it wouldn't match well. So I just picked Sunday because for me, I really don't like calendars that are Monday through Friday and then they have the Saturday, Sunday at the end, even though that's kind of how I think, like you have your week and then your weekend. For some reason on paper, it just looks kind of weird to me. So you have May here, and it's got National Teacher Day. We just did teacher appreciation at my daughter's school last week. Got Mother's Day, so you've got some holidays here, and like it's not a huge amount of space, right? But it certainly is enough space. You also have, in addition to the month, you got the month after and then the month after that. So the 2 following months, just so you can look ahead. Now right here, it gives you May 4th through 10th. So these are the things that I guess you're gonna do May 4th through 10th. The reason why this is confusing me is it's got your weekly, but then it's got to do today, and then it's got this week. So I am a little confused by that. I really like it because maybe I could put like, these could be my work tasks that I want to do, and these could be my personal tasks. And I don't know, I'm gonna have to play with this because I'm not used to this layout. I like it, I'm just not used to it. What I love though, this is the reason why I bought it right here, is because we have here next to the to do today, we've got this week. So that's good for any of those tasks that are like, I don't necessarily have to do it Wednesday, but I do need to get it done at some point this week. You can put it here. But what I love is this month page, that no matter what week you are in, you could be in the 2nd week of May or the 3rd week of May, you can see your whole month. And I like that because that is my issue right now. I'm falling behind on things and I don't have time to move them week to week. And like I said, they're not long-term things that belong on a separate list. They're just action items I haven't had time to do. I really like this layout. So you've got your month, you've got a week. I guess maybe this is week's plans and this is to do today. Again, let me know if you have any thoughts on like the difference between these two. What's going on this week that's not necessarily going on a particular day. And then you've got your to do this month, right? And I really, really like that. So then when you flip the page, once again, you get the next month. So we've got June. We can go all the way to the end. I'll have to get some pens here to just like do a little test. Okay, so this is December, right? We've got December here, and then we've got a notes section. So let's take a little look at these notes. So it's got a notes tab right here. And in this tab, you've got a plan ahead. I actually really like this because sometime in December, I usually get a little antsy of like, what's going on next year? I haven't started making lists. I'm usually traveling somewhere in January or February. I like to make, you know, a couple notes. I love this here of the yearly wins and the yearly lessons. It's like a nice reflection. And sometimes looking back at what you learned and what went really well and what you're excited about and like what was kind of disappointing helps you when you do this year ahead, plan ahead, because you can think like, what do I want to try to have more of that went really well? And then what was like kind of not great? And I want to make sure I improve that for next year. So I really like this. Then it looks like we have some graph paper. Okay, so let's flip through to see how many. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we've got 4 graph pages. Then looks like we have 4 dot pages. Let's see what else we've got. And Oh, I like this. Okay, there is a little section in the back, books I'm reading, things I'm listening to, happy moments, gratitude, hobbies, ways I'm moving my body, I'm excited for, I'm hopeful for. I love this. I'm gonna change this, I already know. I am gonna do this with separate categories of like all the TV I've watched this year. I know that seems like a random, I wouldn't even call it a goal, it is a joy, but just like relaxing on my couch and having a TV show that I watch with my husband. This year, I don't know if I mentioned this in a previous YouTube video, but we rewatched all of Ted Lasso before we went to the UK and we did a tour in Richmond. We got into Severance, that's super exciting. We also got into Shrinking and we just finished season 3 of White Lotus. And let me just tell you, it is only May and we've watched 10 seasons of TV this year. And again, I know you might be like, wow, like that's not something to brag about, but it is so fun. If you have like a partner, a roommate, a friend, a family member, a sibling, whoever that you are into TV with, and you can like send each other Reddit threads or memes online or whatever, it's just like a fun thing to be doing. So TV has actually been a pretty big joy of mine this year, so I'd want like a category for that. Definitely a travel category, and it's just fun because as you're aware, I keep all of my planners. And so I like to look back and be like, oh, in 2025, that's what happened. I'm really excited to get started with this. I also want to say that this has one more folder in the back, which once again, I'm a big fan of because you never know what you're going to need to tuck away in your planner. All right, so within these, in the very back of each month, it looks like on the back of this little paper, there is a habit tracker. So if you want to track something, you have a monthly habit tracker. It's got room for 7 habits. Now, as you may remember from my habit tracker video, I'm not a huge fan of tracking habits because I'm just gonna be honest with you, it's annoying. Sometimes you'll be like 3 days and you'll be like, I haven't tracked in 3 days. Or you're like, wait, did I do that yesterday? Or was that 2 days ago? I can't remember. Is this something that I need to be tracking so diligently because is it really bringing that much excitement and joy to my life? You know what I mean? That is something that maybe you track one thing a month. Maybe you don't track every month and then you track 1 month and you track a couple things. I don't know, but that's cool that it includes that in case that is your thing. But like I said, I'm gonna come back and do maybe a little month in review of how I like this after I use it for a few weeks and let you know what I think. So far, I'm really happy with it. Like I said, this is just what I need. Now, I've seen on her website, she has planners and I can't quite describe them. So I'll put a link below and you can click through her website if you want, where it looks like there's stuff at the bottom that's horizontal that you can flip through. So I don't know, I'm really happy with this layout. Like I said, I've got to figure out what I'm going to do with these 2 columns, but overall, I think this is a really great planner. Before I go, of course, I have to do a pen test, so let me go get a pen. Okay, so I just picked a random month and I'm just gonna write in here, like, let's say today I had to do laundry. All right, so this is, again, obsessed with these pens. So I wrote laundry, it's a pretty dark blue color and you can see it. See, that is amazing because as you can see here, this is gonna be what's to do today. And over here, this is for next week. So you don't want it bleeding through. So that's nice paper quality. As you're aware, I have strong feelings about paper quality. So far 10 out of 10 with that. And I'll let you know how it goes after I use some highlighters too. Anyway, thank you for coming on this journey. I was about to say thank you for not judging me for purchasing another planner here in 2025, but the internet I would not say is the least judgmental place ever, but at any rate, it's always fun to get a tool if you think it is going to help organize and then enhance your life because you're just feeling a little less stressed and getting everything out in front of you. I think one thing that she said on her website or in a planner review is that often once you do that brain dump or you put everything out and you're like, this is what's gonna go in here, this is what I have to get done today, this absolutely must happen this week, but actually that one item isn't so important, I can bump that to next week, and a lot of those things I can do next month. You come to realize there's not so many urgent things that have to be done today, you just haven't organized yourself. And I really like that thought because it's true. When you don't, it's like almost like you don't know what you don't know. You need to organize yourself to see like, what do I have to work with today? What's an upcoming task, but it's not urgent. So I'm hoping that this helps with this. And like I said, I will keep you posted, but I really like my new planner. So as always, thank you for coming on this fun planner journey with me. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you did, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.